I know that a big contributor to this pollution is the war. The war in Ukraine has a huge impact in terms of environment, and you've been several times in Ukraine to discuss, even with President Zelensky. I've seen the situation over there. What is to be done?
So, first, currently we don't have data that war in Ukraine would have impact on EU, on pollution in EU. I'm pretty sure, of course, as regards the bordering countries, especially the Black Sea, that's going to have impact. But at this moment, we cannot measure it. The different cases in Ukraine, pollution is huge. Environment has become a silent victim of war, where you have, Russian military deliberately, they choose as their targets water treatment facilities. So that means, living citizens without clean water and, pollution spilling into the rivers. Chemicals treatment facilities, chemical storages, which also, ends up with spilling large quantities of chemicals. Large hectares of forest are burned and mined. The mining efforts will take years and years, because at this moment around 55,000 hectares of Ukraine is mined, and they have demined only 7,000 hectares, which means, the mining effort will also require a lot of environment being just brushed away. So therefore, we have prepared a compact, sort of 50 recommendations to Ukraine how to ensure that environmental crimes, they also documented. We, of course, when we see the conflict, we first of all focus on human lives lost, and that's absolutely normal. But I think it's extremely important to hold Russia accountable for environmental damage that they have done, because environmental damage will last long and will put pressure inevitably on the citizens too. And at this moment, we already account over 3,600 environmental crimes, and the amount of the damage that is done is over 54 billion euros.
They will need a lot of help. Can they face this situation alone?
Impossible, I think, is to rebuild Ukraine only by themselves. That will definitely require a global effort. And we need to find ways how to fund, support Ukraine, because they're still in war. On the other hand, you have territories where people are ready to return, but their homes, their lives are completely ruined. So on one hand, you need to, despite the ongoing war, despite the ongoing missiles attacks and drone Shaheds attacks, you need to invest into rebuilding of Ukraine. On top of that, funding and supporting Ukraine's effort to defend from the Russian aggression. I think we need to find ways to fund it from the sources that are not coming from taxpayers' money. That could be frozen Russian assets, which would go into the fund, or taxing Western companies that are still operating in Russia. So they are greedy enough, to work with the regime who opened the full-scale invasion against one of the European countries. So I think it's fair to tax them additionally and ensure that those money are used in support of